All right, we are live. First live stream, guys. Welcome. Don't have anything on the agenda. Just told a few people I was gonna come in, talk some hockey cards. See who shows up. First time I've done it live, other than maybe some late night streaming. But yeah, we'll see who shows up. This is the first one, so it will be my first one that isn't that after 3 a.m. Those ones are fun too. You always get some characters in, get people around. If people are up as late as me, then they pop in. But I don't know, stuff going on today. The release of Metal Universe. I messaged my LCS because I forgot to call while they were open, and they were sold out of Metal Universe anyways, so there is no Metal Universe for me. There's a couple other shops here. I may call and see if they have, but price is pretty interesting. $350 or whatever. Pre-sale was, I think, around $170. Most places $160, $170, up to $350, and yeah, a good flip if you pre-ordered it. But yeah, I don't know. It could be a decent longer term hold. The boxes I saw look pretty good, look pretty interesting, look like they have some fun cards. So I don't know. Up to 2 people in here. That's my max I think I've ever had, or maybe I got up to 4. I don't remember. But thanks, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Helps other people see that the stream is on. But you got any comments, fire them in there, and we can talk. It's no fun me just talking to myself. So bring it. Got my Tims, obviously Canadian. If you don't know who I am Lapper, LAPP3R30 _ flips on Instagram. Oh, I thought I made that banner better there. Now it says Instagram when it scrolls, I think. There, look at that. I got that on the fly. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I mean, this thing's set up for so almost anyone can use it, 3-year-olds, but someone say something. Someone say hi. Someone comment that I'm not here alone. I mean, maybe I am. That's all right. I know someone will pop in. Someone who's not shy to talk. What's going on, Andrew? Thanks for coming in. I'm just going to beat you guys with hit the like button. It'll get more people in here, hopefully bring more conversation, which is what I am about. Where are you from, Andrew? Since you're the only one who is speaking, what do you collect? Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, home of the Winnipeg Jets. Not my team, but they're a team. I was actually a little bit disappointed I didn't get to go and see, oh God, who is it now? Who played for the Winnipeg Ice? Winnipeg Ice, big prospect. Let me look here. Last year he was here and I didn't even know it. Was it Peyton Krebs? Was he on the Ice roster? Is that who it was? Yeah, it was Peyton Krebs. Connor Geeky was there too. I don't think he played last year though. Yeah, how's it going, Casket? Thanks for joining, guys. Andrew's from California. Just got into hockey cards. They're fun, man. Hockey is a fun game. I eat with peanut butter. I do like peanut butter. I eat the good stuff though. No sugar, not like Skippies. I eat like the Costco that's just peanuts. If I eat too much junk and don't play enough hockey, I just get fat. So try and cut all that garbage. I don't know if Krebs will. I haven't seen anyone really have him slotted in. I have bought some Krebs. I'm not sure, to be honest, though, where the team is at or what they're thinking with in terms of his development. Let me just have a look here. How old is he? He's 19, I believe. Yeah, 2001, so he's 20. He turned 20 in January. Yeah, I don't see anyone who has him slotted in, but I don't think he is junior eligible anymore unless he would have his final year. Nick, how is it going? Morgan Geeky from Manitoba. Yeah, he is. He's from Steinbach. He's from one of the Mennonite communities up here. It's either Steinbach or Winkler, something like that. But yeah, I actually didn't know that about Morgan Geeky. I was buying some of his cards when Series 1, I believe it was, first came out, and then I seen that he was from Manitoba, and that was sort of interesting. But Peyton Krebs, yeah, sorry, I'm just looking here. I want to have a look at that to see if I'm fairly certain that Vegas doesn't have him slotted in their roster. But the reason that I like Krebs so much was watching him in the juniors. His game just really, really fits Vegas really well. Like he's a grindy guy. He's a skill guy. Like he just sort of fits the game that they play. Yeah, so the current roster, take it for what it is, guys. Like, these things aren't set in stone, but Daily Faceoff doesn't have him rostered in. They got Jan-Mark, Patrick, Dadonov in the third line, and then Howden, Nicholas Roy, Will Carrier on the third, and then top six are, well, case you guys will know, Pacioretty, Stevenson, Stone, and then Marchessault, Carlson, Riley, Smith. This team looks... That's a decent decor. Alex Martinez, Peter Angelo, McNabb, Shea Theodore, Zach Whitecloud. He's underrated. He played pretty good. Then Nicholas Hague. I'm not ultra familiar with his game. But Vegas, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Gus, thoughts on Hughes' future? Which Hughes? Which Hughes are you thinking? What's your opinion on the offer sheet on KK, who won? Oh boy. And Casket Brain says he's from Steinbach. Yeah, I knew he was from one of those, like I said, Mennonite communities. But yeah, Steinbach, not too far from here. 40-minute drive, couple nice golf courses there. I usually get down there a couple times a year, but not much to really see. They don't wear masks. They don't get vaccinated. They don't do that stuff down there. So the KK offer sheet, though, I mean, the only thing I think of that is I just don't like Bergevin, so I thought it was absolutely comical, with the $20 bonus. And you read these articles, and some of them are super funny, like, oh, that wasn't a needle, and like, it's 1 year, $6 million, or six and change, or whatever it is, and I don't know. It helps Carolina, and Carolina is going to be a contender. So when you take a look at that first round pick, you're going to be looking at, like, let's say at best a 16th, 18th, 20th pick, more than likely to be like a bottom 7 or 8 pick in the draft in the first round. So I don't know. I mean, obviously all the Habs fans have given up on KK, like they do everything. They get so high on things and then so low, but the guy's got a lot of upside. A good grading card, I believe. I think his PSA 10 trades high. That'll probably change though with him being moved. But yeah, I don't know. I just think Bergevin getting screwed is sort of funny. LP, what's up? Thanks for checking it out. You guys who are in here, 7, that's most people I've had in here. Hit the like button. It helps people find the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah. Geeky Bro playing for the Winnipeg Ice. Okay, was that I was looking at the roster there. Maybe that wasn't Morgan Geekie. Was that his brother? I thought it was. Oh, Connor Geekie. Okay, so that is his brother. Yeah, and it says from Strathclair, Manitoba. Yeah, I thought that was Morgan, but Morgan. Morgan wouldn't make sense considering he'd come and played with. He'd played a bit there with Carolina. What are my thoughts on Shane Bowers and Bowen Byram? Goodbyes. I don't like either of them. I have Shane Bowers exclusives. I bought it on day one when it came out and actually got a really good price. I think I paid $50 for Bowers exclusives just because he's an Av, so I didn't really care so much about it. But Byram, like Shane Bowers, a prospect. We'll see what happens. I think it's way too early. He's got to get some time and see what happens. I wouldn't be buying either of these guys. I already sold off. I had a bunch of Byrams. I sold them off at between $55 and $65. I think I'd picked them up. They bottomed out at about $15 to $20 a piece. I sold them all off once he hit $50. I don't really care. I mean, Byram's young. I'm not going to make any harsh judgment. I just, you always get the comparisons and people saying, "Oh, Byram could be better than Cale Makar." Like no, he I wouldn't have known that a year ago. But Byram really can't be better than Cale Makar. Like you're going to be lucky to have a guy better than Cale Makar. And I don't know. Byram's he's got to get some time in there. He looked pretty conservative. He looked a little bit hesitant. I mean, what he's really got to do is just make the first pass. Like with Colorado, it's all about transition. So the whole job of a guy on the back end, Sammy does it so well. He had a bit of struggle in the playoffs, but these guys got to just put it on their tape. And then the forwards do the flying through the neutral zone. So it's all about the first pass. That's all you got to do to be a good D-man in Colorado. So if he can do that, Cale Makar can do the other things. He can skate it up himself, which is what makes him so dynamic. And then he's got the speed coming from behind when, the forwards are going to be second, third man. But, Cale Makar has that. It doesn't look like Byram does. He doesn't look as shifty, but that's okay. We'll see. He's just got to make a good first pass. Just get it to the big boys. Like they'll do the rest of the work. So we'll see. But in terms of hockey cards, I'm not buying Bowers or Byram. When I look to buy cards, I try and keep my bias completely out of it unless it's a PC card. Like I buy my Barkovs. I really enjoy buying his cards. I like Huberdeau, Nikita Kucharov. I got this guy here. Here's a cool card that I bought it. I waited a long time to get it. Maybe you've seen this if you've seen my Instagram. It's a dual signature auto, like Kucherov Stamkos. They win 2 cups together. I just thought, well, that seems like a pretty obvious card to buy. I picked it up for, I believe, $200, 3-color patch on both of them. Seemed like a pretty nice buy. And this is just a PC card, though. I just thought it was too cool at that price to sort of pass up. But I got off a little bit there. Oh, sorry. I was saying about how I try not to be biased in my decisions. Like just because they play for Colorado, like I talk to guys who cheer for other teams and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got like this prospect, this prospect, this prospect, this prospect." You know what? Like you're lucky if one of those 6 guys turn out. Okay. Like they're not all going to be, top 6 for crying out loud. Like it's hard to become a top 6 player in the NHL. So don't let your bias get in the way. If you want to buy your players on your team and, put them in the PC, then, that's fine. Obviously that's different. You do what you want with your PC, but don't kid yourself that, some prospect who's a long shot is some sort of wonderful investment, because for the most part, they're just not. So I look for what I want to see. I want to see lots of goals from players in junior. If they're not scoring almost a goal a game in junior as a forward, I don't think they have. I think that completely really lowers their chance of being successful in the NHL. If they're not at a point per game in the AHL, I don't know. Find me some players who've put up, 3/4 of a point a game in the NHL or in the AHL and then come and had success in the NHL. I mean, they may have success, but not hockey card and real goal scoring success. Metal Universe. I talked about this when I first put the stream on. It went up from the pre-sales were at 160, which I really liked. I was already buying precious metal gems, but I don't do wax, so I wasn't gonna go ahead and pre-sale buy any. But it was a box that I wanted to get. And I'm not paying $350 for it. Like I'll just go and buy. I'll go and buy a jambalaya or go and buy like whatever cards I want from the set. I would rather spend $350 on that or $700 if I was to buy 2 boxes. I'd rather do that than buy the boxes. I was going to do the box just for the channel, but like, I don't know, never say never. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy one, but the plan right now, I have absolutely no plan to buy a Metal Universe box the way that it is right now. Yeah, I listen, it's not that it's a waste of money. Like if you enjoy doing it, different people, I have buddies who, enjoy doing it. Some guys in the Discord, and I don't think he's here, but he would know who he is. Like if you like opening stuff, like that's fine, but just understand that it's generally a negative EV play and you're not going to get your money back. So I try and open stuff for the channel. I've opened stuff with my son. Like it's all fun. Just have fun with it. If you're doing it to try and hit those 101s or whatever sort of like lottery ticket you're trying to hit, like they just don't happen. So you have to understand that. And the price, like I'd said in the Discord, I think you have to understand that like the PMGs are like huge cards, especially for like OG collectors. And those guys were going to be buying up all this wax. Like it's probably one of the first products that they were super excited about, to have like the jambalayas back and the PMGs, and so it's not really surprising that demand for the product was really high. And that's the way this stuff works. Is it's simple, supply and demand. I watched I think it was Sports Cards Live the other night. Can't remember who was talking about wax and wax prices. And yeah, anyways, they were talking about how, how can you sell a box for more than your biggest hit out of the box is going to be. And the bottom line is it boils down to scarcity. So if you take like 86 Fleer, like basketball, there's that, I may be wrong about this, but anyways, you take a product that's really highly valued, that costs a lot of money to buy. And the reason for it is just because there's none of it out there. They referenced a couple products. I don't remember what they are, but it's no different than everything else. It's just supply and demand stuff. Tim's Tea is from Canada. You got your Tim's. Figured I'd grab a Tim's and hop on here for a bit. You guys are chatty. That's good. It makes the conversation a lot better. Got Andrew. Martin Coate cracks the lineup. Martin Coate, maybe in a depth role. He was really unimpressive. The games that he played with Colorado, his skating was really poor. It looked like he could shoot the puck all right. But I don't know, didn't look like anything more than maybe a third line shooter guy. But having said that, I did watch some video. I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was back in the playoffs, and watching some of his AHL video, and he looked like he was skating a lot better. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with him. Again, not a guy I'd be buying. I do own some Martin Coates on ComC. I think they're a couple bucks each, so I probably have half dozen or something. Spend my $15 on Coate just in case. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll get my $2 back, maybe, as long as he can crack a lineup. I don't know. We'll see. 96-97 Metal Universe, best cards ever made. Well, that's exactly it though, right? So I mean, lots of people were excited about this release. You're not alone in thinking that. So definitely. Your wife says hi. What's your wife's name? Nick. Hello to her too. It's better if I have a name though. I like calling people by their names typically. You don't have or actually you're in Buffalo, right? So you might have a Tim's down there. By the way, did you get your card yet? Did that come yet? If it's not there right now, it should be any day, any minute. When did I say I sent that? I sent that on the 31st, so we're at 9 days. So you should be getting that card anytime. Nick bought a PSA 10 Rasmus Dahlin off me. And I hope you're okay with me saying that, Nick. It's too late now. I can't rewind this or anything, so now everyone knows. But it was one of the first slabs that I ever bought. And yeah, I was, I think there's upside with Dahlin, and he's a Buffalo fan, so I just sold it, and I hope that he enjoys it, and maybe he can make some money off of it if he wants to move it or do whatever he wants to do. But I think there's still upside with Dahlin. Buffalo is going to be an interesting team to watch this year. It's one of those situations that are always like, you look at them on paper and you're like, oh yeah, they could have a chance, and then you watch them and it's the same shit every single year. But we'll see. You never know. I just don't know. Cole Coffield price prediction. I will put Cole Coffield at because he's in Montreal, I'll put him at like the Lafreniere, I would say 450 plus. I think he may get some pre-sales at about 550. And then what'll be interesting with Coffield, though, that didn't happen with Laffy, is they'll be playing and he'll already have numbers up when they release that. So I don't know. That could actually change my prediction. I don't think so, though. Like I don't see him going below $400 off the bat. I'm not saying that's what he's worth. Don't confuse that. I mean that's my price prediction for like when it comes out and what pre-sales are and that sort of stuff. What do you think it's going to be? What do you guys think Coffield will come out at? I want to hear what you guys have to say too. I don't see why they wouldn't. Tim's does really well off those cards, and those cards to actually rip those packs are probably the most plus EV packs you can get, because it's like 1 in every 5 packs you get one of those the team cards. They're different each year, but they sell for like $25 to $30 a card, and people are collecting them like mad, and they go like crazy. So that product actually might be one of them that you could buy just like 1 million of, and move it. Like, I didn't think they'd be that desirable. When the Tim's cards first came out, I was relatively new, and I was like, do people actually buy these things? But people really buy them. I actually put together a set with my son. I think we're short a few cards. I haven't revisited that in a while, but yeah, they're fun cards. I thought they're pretty good looking too. The quality obviously isn't like top grade, but I thought they're pretty nice cards. Hi, Grace. How you doing? And Dahlin's not there yet. Yeah, it should be there anytime. 2 Tim Hortons in Buffalo. Yeah, that's probably just for when the Canadians come down across the border. They gotta have those things there. Think Joel Farabee could be a top line player. Like, he's a streaky guy. Let's see what they got him slotted in here. I watched in the last couple weeks, I watched all of his points last season, and he's a really good hockey player, got good hands, decent shot. I don't know. I like Farabee. I just wonder, in the scheme of things, he would, well, yeah, if I'm ignoring the hockey card part of it, if I'm looking at Joel Farabee as a player, like I really like him as a player. What do I think of his hockey card? I'm not really sure, to be honest. What I will say is I do have 1 or 2 of them left. I'd sold a couple, and I'm actually thinking of just maybe holding these or seeing what happens through the first couple weeks. Maybe I would get rid of them if he had, another, what did he start off with? 4-goal game. I think that was opening game of the league last year. But Farabee's interesting. He's definitely a good player. and we'll see. He's another development guy. What about Morgan Frost? You're a Philly fan? Because I'm curious what Morgan, what you know about Morgan Frost. I have a bunch of him as well, and to be honest, know very little about him. Hey Carl, how's it going? Goalies to look at. I don't like goalies. I'll give you a long story short. You have Conor Hellebach, who's arguably, top 3 goaltender in the NHL. Wins a Vezina, price doesn't move. He's sitting at about $13 right now. So if you have a Vezina, one of the best goaltenders in the league, like you need a goalie in Montreal, or you need some other catalyst, because it's very clear. Conor Hellebach is a perfect example that like your numbers aren't enough of a driver to drive your card price. So goalies, I legit ignore. I was gonna buy Nedeljkovic going into the playoffs. I did buy. Oh boy, what the hell is his name from the goalie for Washington? Vitek Vanacek I bought, and then he goes and gets hurt in like the first game or something. But in general, I just stay away from goalies. One of my favorite products. Monty, how you doing? I want to sell some higher-end cards on eBay, but I'm so nervous about being ripped off, especially since they can see I'm brand new and never sold anything. Yeah, I mean, I remember the first expensive card I sold, and when I say expensive, I think it was a Lafreniere Young gun that I had sold for $250, and I wanted the guy to like send me ID and everything, and yeah, I was super nervous too, and now I move quite a bit of stuff, not super high end, but just stuff that's between $200 and $600. I moved my Ovi for $5,500. That card, what I would recommend with something high end like that is to do it FedEx, especially if it's going to the States, because no one's getting signatures in the States. So if you're sending from Canada to the US, once it gets across that border, like, you're crossing your fingers. But what I will say is I've sold, I don't even know what it is, 500, 600 items on eBay. And I've been scammed. I know it was 2 times. And then I had a third that didn't make it to someone. So, and they were relatively lower dollar stuff. All of them was, all of them. The most expensive one was actually a Nick Suzuki. I sold it for $60. Is what the price was at. And yeah, I was super choked when she'd stolen it, but yeah, you're nervous about being ripped off. I mean, yeah, that's legit. What I would say then is just try selling some smaller dollar stuff first. You just got to get over it. You ship more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. And, people are inherently good. Like it's all the bad shit that people talk about and like it happens, but it's so rare considering the amount of volume in this game. And typically the higher end the buyer, the more you can sort of figure out who they are. Like usually they'll, they may have, I don't know, there's just someone who knows them. So, you can look at things like that too. Hurdle, I don't know. I'm actually not sure what's going on in the Hurdle situation right now, to be perfectly honest. Is he still a free agent? Or, well, no, you can't be a free agent if you're looking at a trade, but I'm not familiar with the Hurdle situation, to be honest. Okay, in the town of Grand Island. I see. I just thought Grand Island was like a part of Buffalo. Nick, how you doing? Thanks for coming out. Guys, again, hit that like button. It'll help people find the channel. Hit the like. And to new people here too, I do have a contest going that I'm doing the draw for on September 17th. I'm going to be giving out a bundle of Young Guns Just some guys who I'm prospecting who I think have opportunity with upside. So all you got to do is subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, you'll automatically be entered. And I'll be drawing that on September 17th, which now that I think about it is a terrible day for me because I am working that night. So I may move that to the 15th or a couple days later, but I will keep people in touch with that. That's not a good day of the week for me to do it. Fridays are usually good, but then I forgot that sometimes, I'm going back to work for the winter. One day I'll post what I do. I won't give it away. I don't think anyone knows what I do in the winter time. Coffield price going similar to Mitch Marner-ish. I mean, it depends when. I think like when it releases, I'll guarantee, like I would bet almost everything that Caufield's price is way above Marner's. If Marner's up at about like $250, like I'll take the over on Coffield all day when he first comes out. Like I said, I think the pre-sales are going to be around $450 on that card. That's just sort of what I feel from seeing Lafreniere, seeing Stützle, seeing Kaprizov and those, and how nuts people are. And that doesn't even include the Montreal effect. So those guys are willing to pay a premium on a premium. So we'll see. You got 10 Morgan Frost. Nice. There you go. I just don't know anything about him. I know I've watched his video before. I saw something, but I don't remember. That would have been last off season. So I don't know. Breakout candidates for 21-22. I don't know. That's what we're all speculating, right? That's what everyone wants to know. I don't know. Who do you guys think? Like, I mean, if I'm curious if like who's going to make it through camp. Like, again, if these guys like Krebs or McMichael are even going to get through camp and get on the team, or what their plan is with them. I mean, different teams develop in different ways. You know, I was in a Ville Heinola, and I don't even know. It looks like they're going to likely not bring him up. I don't think they'll have him as a 7. I don't think that's not the way that Chevy manages teams. So I don't know. Who do you guys think the candidates are? That's what I want to know. I read everyone's comments and read the forums and try and figure out what other people are thinking. I can't remember if it was Nick I was talking to. There were, or not, Nick Levetro. I don't know, but I ended up buying a Jacob Chychrun Future Watch Auto Black because, I mean, yeah, the guy had 18 goals. The guy had 18 goals, 23 assists, 41 points in 56 games. And that like wasn't on the power play. Like OEL was quarterbacking the power play 1. Chychrun's only 23. I don't like D-Man. It's not a play I would normally make. I just feel like with Future Watch Black or with cards like that, I also have a couple of regular Future Watches coming. I don't know. I feel like the card won't lose value, and it's also the first black Future Watch auto I'll get. So we'll see. Jake Ettinger. Yeah, sure. But I mean, again, if Conor Hellebach, like Dallas isn't a team that many people watch or pay attention to. Like, I mean, everyone watched Jason Robertson for the first 40 games out of the year before they wanted to buy his hockey card. And people just don't pay attention to Dallas. Like, I think Jack Ottinger's going to get a little bit of a look, and perhaps there's a flip there. You know, when I say these things, I don't mean that there isn't an opportunity. It's just like, how big is it? Like, what are you looking to do? Are you trying to find the next like Carey Price? Because Ottinger's probably not him. Or, you know, are you looking to buy some Ottinger on ComC and flip it from, you know, whatever he's at, $5 to $15? Like that may be possible. It just depends on depends on what you want to do, I think. But what I would say for me, it's just about it's about trusting yourself, trusting myself, not you guys trusting me. Like, don't trust me. Go do your own stuff. Like check out players, figure it out. But I've been right enough in my short span here, that, you know, we'll see what happens. I try and keep it tight, though. I don't try and buy 100 guys. I try and keep it a little bit focused. So Clayton Keller, I did well off Clayton Keller actually this year. People wouldn't know. I mean, it wasn't that great. Yeah, he's going for the 13.25. So silver foil at 39 looks a lot more appealing than the $13 regular price. Silver foil at 39, I think that's, I would be more likely to buy that. I actually bought Clayton Keller last year at the start of the year just because, and you know, I did move him. I don't remember from what price to what, but I did okay with him. I bought a few of those, and I don't know. Again, tough sledding in Arizona. Don't get much tension there, so who knows? It's rumored that Hurdle might not want to resign with only 1 year left, and yeah. I mean, that's makes sense to me. And if the guy doesn't want to be there, then there's no sense in working that hard on a guy like that. So if that's the case, I mean, it would only make sense that they move him. I don't know about Nick Robertson. I mean, if you're a Toronto fan, you think he's the second coming or something. Like, I just don't know. Like, where do they have him slotted in here? Where do they don't even have him. They don't even have him on the team. Is he hurt? Is Nick Robertson hurt right now? They got Michael Bunting there, Ilya Mikheyev, David Kampf on the third line, Spezikasha and Simmons on the fourth. But I don't even see Nick Robertson here. Like, I don't know. The year before last, he looked pretty good in the playoffs, but I don't know Nick Robertson that well. Like I said, if you're a Toronto fan, you love him. I know it because there's nobody, you know, who doesn't. Now, what does that mean to me? Not that much coming from a Toronto fan. If there's other people who aren't Toronto fans and think he's good, that would likely mean more to me. But I don't know enough about him to have an opinion. It looked okay from what I saw. I don't know. You know, I've obviously had Ray and Jerry's, but I wouldn't remember when that was. If I had it, it was 20 plus years ago, maybe 30 years ago. I don't know. And Nick, yeah, the Olympic boost for Chychrun. If Chychrun gets up there and plays with, you know, Makar, that's certainly an opportunity. So these are the kind of things that, like, we're talking about. If you guys also have a Discord, and I have a link for it in most of my videos, but you guys can feel free to check that out. And I can send an invite if you want to chat with some people about cards. And that's where I got the Chychrun. And now I just went and blew a few $100 on Jacob Chychrun. We'll see if it pays off. It was a little bit of a whim, but with the Future Watch Auto Black, after I saw it, I just sort of wanted it. And so I went and got it. I got what I think was a fair price. I got it for about 4 times Future Watch Auto, which seems to be on the lower end. So they're a little bit hard to price. Are you in peace with Dubois for Line A as a Jets fan? I'm not a Jets fan, man. I'm not a Jets fan. All my friends are Jets fans because I'm in Winnipeg, but I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Colorado fan. Dubois has been pretty insignificant. Like, yeah, I thought he would just add a lot more strength up the middle. And he was really struggling last year, like just struggling to fit in, period. He had a really good attitude when he came to the city. The interviews he gave were, really good. He seemed to like the team. But one of the things I wonder about with the Jets and being so close to them, just because, that's all the content that we have here in the city. Not all of it, but you know what I'm saying, being in Winnipeg here, is I'm not sure how tight that squad is. And I'm not sure how tight that squad is, and I don't know if there's something more going on there. Apparently, these are guys in the dressing room after hockey talking about it, but saying that everyone hates Wheeler and this and that. We don't know. I don't know. You take that stuff with a grain of salt, but I don't know if people don't like Wheeler and Scheifele is apparently his sidekick, and I don't know. It just doesn't sound like there's a good vibe there. Like the thing about Colorado, and I think the thing that makes them so dangerous is you constantly hear we're a super tight squad. And, you see them in the community, different guys together at different times doing different things within the community. And you don't really see that here. I don't know. Jets had their window. It was 2 years ago, like right before moving Laine. They had all the pieces there, and I told my buddies, I don't know why they had to be told, but it's like the Jets are as good as they're going to be right now. They're going to have to start moving money, and now I don't know, that window, it feels like it's closed. The only thing that keeps that window open for longer is Conor Hellebach, and don't worry about his card because it's obviously a waste of time at $15. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. Like, he's an amazing goalie. I played in net my whole life. So I really appreciate goaltending, and I watch it pretty closely. Really like Hellebach's game. But in terms of his hockey card, it's not really relevant. But him as a goalie, like you want that guy in your net. I'll tell you that much. You mean the Roslovic trade? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sort of turned out to be, right? I mean, I get the joke. I mean, Roslovic had a hot start there. The problem was, the first thing that I said to my brother-in-law, who I talk 90% of the hockey with, I said, "How the hell do you think Patrick Laine and Torts are going to get along? Like, there's no way that's going to work." And well, hey, here we are. And we saw what happened. He got benched, game 2, and then game 3, and then a second time in game 3, then a third time in game 3. And then I don't remember if he got thrown in the press box, but that relationship was an absolute disaster. I don't know what Kekalainen was thinking. Obviously he did away with Torts because he wasn't going to do away with Laine, but what an absolute disaster. Like, I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me. Who do you think will be on the first line of the Hurricanes? I don't know. Like the Hurricanes are getting deeper every year. They got all their main pieces. Teravainen, is back, should be healthy. Svech right now, it's showing like Svech, Aho, Teravainen. I don't think they played that very much at all last year. They were splitting up Aho and Svech. They were only together on the power play, I believe. You got Martin Neckash there. Jordan Staal, you got KK on the, slotted in right now on the third line. They just got a lot of pieces there that they can shuffle around and they'll figure it out. Like they should have. That's what'll make them dangerous. Them in Florida both, they're going to have 3 good lines. So I think we'll see. And then they just got to do it. They just got to do the work. Do you mean Texier could do something, should do something, but it comes back to the market problem? Think Texter? What? I'm confused. I think Texier could do something, should do something, but it comes back to the market problem. Are you talking about Alexander Texier? I assume. I don't know. He's forgotten about if that's who you're talking about. He's going to need to do something for himself. And he's in Columbus. It's tough. I do see, I see a little bit of Laine chatter, but I don't know. What will he put up? I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be situational. It's gonna depend on the situations they put him in too. Like if they try and get him in on like the second power play and how much time. I don't think there's room for him on the first power play unless they were to shuffle things up. I think everyone is still there for the first line in Carolina. But what did he have? He had 20 points in 56 games last year. You know, and he had 8 points in 19 games in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. He's got work to do. I just don't, you know, there's upside there. I wouldn't bet that a guy like Kotkaniemi could reach, you know, even like Svechnikov has, to me, a way higher upside, and you know, Aho is above him. But you know, if Kotkaniemi can become a number 2 center, number 3 who can move up, like he could be a valuable piece. But Carolina is going to figure it out this year and see what happens. Yeah. Anderson would have made a great Jet. There's lots of players who could fit in on the Jets. No, I mean, I personally don't have any thoughts on this. I mean, the only thing that I've heard from people who know way more than me, like I know nothing in order to make an assessment of this, so I would definitely defer to people who know, you know, the economics behind the card market. But from what Brian Gray was saying, is like the Upper Deck for Fanatics picking up Upper Deck would have been or should be like the easiest play for them to make. So, you know, whether they work on Tops doing their thing right now, Panini and what happens with that, I guess we'll see. But he seems to think that Upper Deck is actually like super low hanging fruit, and they're just not there yet. So, like I definitely think it's possible. Fanatics move in that direction. There was an article put out last week about that. It was about that anyways, talking about how Fanatics wants to almost do like an Upper Deck e-pack type of setup where, you know, you're able to like buy, sell, trade, grade, do everything through the Fanatics platform, which is going to, you know, change distribution too, because now it's like the question is how much wax goes to the LCSs and how much wax goes to all these places. They're going to try and distribute it lower cost through their platform. Seems to be the way that they're going, and you know, they have a few years to figure that out. But it's going to be really interesting to watch, and we'll see if they get into the hockey space and have some sort of impact there. What team will be a surprise next season? Oh God, it's early for that. Seattle. No, not Seattle. I mean, who's going to be a surprise? I think probably Chicago. I mean, it's sort of a surprise, but I think people are expecting a big step forward from Chicago from where they were. You know, you got Taves is back healthy. Kubalik had a down year, but Kubalik on the wing with Taves is fire. So see what happens there. Right now they got it slotted in as DeBrincat, Dak, and Kane. That's obviously pretty good top 3. And then they got Taves, Kubalik, Strome in there. Philip Kurashev, some depth. I do have a Kurashev Young Guns exclusives at PSA. I don't know why, but I do, just because what else was I going to do with it? But maybe he'll turn out, and maybe I'll look like a genius. Their bottom 6 leaves a little bit to be desired. I like Tyler Johnson there. Henrik Bjorkstrom, Philip Kurashev. Yeah. I mean, adding Seth Jones on the back end, obviously big deal. Kalec Jones. I don't know who Wyatt Kalinick is. Never heard of him in my life. Maybe he's been in the league for 20 years and I just don't know who he is. Or maybe he played in the AHL. I don't know. But I don't know. I think Chicago will be interesting. I'll give you one more since I only give one more because Chicago's like a team that I sort of cheer for. I do like, Taves is from Winnipeg here, and so I hope well on him. Who else? I don't know. I think the Rangers are going to be interesting. I mean, I won't say that they're overlooked by any stretch. I just think with all the young talent and I think all the bullshit that went on last year with the way that Lafreniere was shuffled and the way they seem to be developing these guys, and I don't really know what the hell they're doing there. But I think that I will be watching a bunch of Rangers games this year, Rangers and Buffalo. Buffalo I won't put in that camp though, because they got to show something before they get any love. But I think the Rangers will be an interesting team to watch. Kravtsov, not great numbers in the KHL. A lot of people seem to really like him. He looked okay. I guess we'll see what sort of opportunity they give him. They already got Lafreniere and Kakko slotted in on the first line with Zibanejad. See how long that lasts for. See what happens with coaching. Like, coaching changes these things when they shuffle these guys around, and then Kakko ends up on the third line, and who knows. But I think Rangers will be a bit interesting. Bennett, Verhaeghe, Duclair. I already did well with Bennett. I already made that money. That was a small flip on ComC, so I'm done with Bennett. Although I still might own a couple of them. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I don't know. $5. I don't know. Isn't yeah, I don't know. Duclair not so much. Verhaeghe, Bennett I think would be the most solid of those three, just because he's looking to get like top minutes. His production there was pretty incredible. I think he had 9 points in 11 games or something. Sorry, he had 15 points in 10 games there. So him getting a full season with the Panthers, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I would definitely go with Bennett versus Duclair, and I rarely look at like older guys like that, but I like Bennett out of those three anyways. But you do you, man. If you like them, giver. That's just Florida overload though. I mean, unless you were looking for just those guys. Brandon Montour should be a pretty good player and help their back end out too. Radko Gudas, sort of interesting. Radko Gudas really good I always seem to pick him up in my fantasy hockey league because he gets everything. He blocks shots, gets penalty minutes, gets all of our little categories, but he gets a bunch of those every night. So seems to be a pretty good fantasy player in my league. Is Lafreniere's YG really going to stay over $100? No, I think that I think from here, Lafreniere's young gun only goes up. If you're not in the Discord or haven't heard me say, I get more offers on my Lafreniere's than I do on any of the other cards that I have listed on eBay right now. I get literally a minimum one offer a day, and typically it's 2 offers a day on my Young Guns Canvas PSA 10 Lafreniere. So it just tells me that like there's a lot of attention there, and it's not all the same guys. And someone asked me, are the offers not good? And the offers are really fair. It's just I see the attention there, so I'm just going to hold tight. Like Lafreniere is only going to go up from here. Now, again, going back to my market cycle video, like I wouldn't expect it to stay there. He's going to have to do something himself, but I think it'll go up at the start of the season, and then it's going to depend on production. This is only his second year. I would almost consider it his first year, really, to see what he can do. And, I think he'll determine his price, and we'll see if people get bored of him. Or we may just see the same thing that happened last year, where every player trends down after the first month of hockey, after the first 6 weeks. Every player goes up, everyone's amped up, they want the guys, they hit their peak, and then everyone slowly comes down. That's sort of what I would expect to happen, other than, with a few guys. And I mean, that even happened with Marner and Matthews last year. Marner's on pace to 200 goals in a regular season, and his card starts going down. So production isn't everything. Upper Deck Allure and OPG Platinum similar in style. Yeah, I like Platinum better. I don't like the whatchamacallit, the die cuts in like the Allure. Those, I think the shape is like messed up. Like the jambalayas I like, at least they're simple. They're, like an oval. I don't know what the hell they're doing with those Allures. I'm not a fan personally. I'll take Platinum all day, but yeah, Platinum's just inexpensive. And when I have the itch to open, I think it's really fun. And I sell a lot of it on eBay. People like the shiny stuff, and you can get it really inexpensive on ComC and flip it on eBay for a good buck. But don't steal my tactics. Yeah, I meant Texier. I figured you did. Yeah, Texier is gonna have to do something. Like he had the chatter, the playoffs. What was that, year before last? And it sort of died off. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were talking about him. I suppose we'll see what happens. I have the Barkov exclusives on there if anyone wants to search. Barkov exclusives on where? What do you have? I have a Barkov. I just got this guy back. I just got the Barkov exclusives. Where's my camera? I got my PSA 10 Barkov exclusives. If yours can grade a PSA 10, I'll buy it. Although having one Barkov exclusives might be enough for me. Do you think OPG Platinum numbered cards are underpriced versus the Young Guns? It depends. Did you ask me this question in the Discord? Someone asked this, or someone was talking about it. I look at Platinum differently because all I use it for is to flip on eBay. I buy it on ComC and I flip it on eBay. So I don't even really think of it as an investment card. Like usually I'm doing a lot more of the reds, the red prisms and then the blue cubes. But I really like the reds because a lot of jerseys color match, so they look really good. Like Montreal Canadiens players, you got the red color match with the blue cubes, like the blue. You have all your blue teams that blend in there, and the cards just look really good. So I just think of them more as flips than value. I've actually sold, like, even my Makar red prisms I sold, and I was like, maybe I should have held on to those things. I had, I think, 4 of them at one point. I bought them for probably $11 a piece. They're nothing. And I was like, maybe I should have just held those, but whatever. They're gone. Sold. I lied. I have one of them at PSA actually for my PC, and it was actually it was the worst condition one. I'd gotten 2 in a ComC order after, and they were both in better condition than the one that I sent to ComC. But c'est la vie. So the red Makar, the red Prism Makar will be a PC card. Maybe I'll get a PSA 8 or PSA 9 or something. In years ahead, as more basketball collectors come over to hockey, I think they'll dig into cards that remind me of. Yeah, I've heard that before too. I mean, I just wonder about these basketball collectors coming over to hockey. Like, it's the thing that's enjoyable about the basketball card market is the volatility, the fact that you can buy low and sell high, buy high and sell low, however it works out, whatever you do. But there's volatility there, which is really good for trading and for flipping and for moving cards. Hockey doesn't have the same volatility level. And I think basketball collectors would find hockey incredibly boring, along with already not really knowing the game. And I don't know. So my question would be more like when are these basketball collectors coming? Because I haven't seen or heard of much of that. I take in a lot of content on YouTube, and I don't hear anyone who collects basketball, football, baseball, especially basketball. I don't hear any of them talking about hockey ever, not even a mention. So, I mean, I don't know. That's anecdotal. That's what I see, but these big creators could give two hoots about hockey. ComC. Oh, you have a Barkov exclusives on ComC. Let's check it out. You guys use ComC? If you don't use ComC, I mean, I'm really into it. I had someone message me and say, I watched your video on ComC and I still have no idea what it's about. And I was like, yeah, I guess I made a shitty video, but I make them quick and hopefully you get the gist. I don't see a Barkov exclusives. What's going on here? I don't see an exclusives on ComC. Or maybe you just have it in your inventory. You don't have it listed for sale right now. That would make sense. Barkov up at $98 on ComC. 2013-14 second best rookie cards. Yeah, I'm agree or not that it's National Treasures. Yeah, like it's my favorite. It's not even close. Like all the National Treasures, all the Panini stuff. That's I have a bunch of searches in eBay for National Treasures stuff, and I love the 13-14 stuff. Anything there was the Fleer stuff at that time too, like the Fleer showcase stuff. PMGs were around at that time, but National Treasures, probably my favorite. I have here. I'll show you. I got this one. Again, you've probably seen it if you've seen my Instagram and that, but this is like one of my favorite cards. I sit it in front of me. It's just like a showpiece, right? Like just part of my Barkov like PC. But look at come on, look at that patch. It's crazy. And then it's numbered out of 25. And I haven't seen the other 24 of these. But how can there be a better patch than that? I just find it hard to believe. But that's part of my Barkov PC. I just love this card. So it stays sitting right here in front of me. So I look at it 100 times a day, and now I don't even notice it. It's just, you have these things, but I really love that card. It's a really cool card. So I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. 13-14, and I mean, it was a good class. Yeah, like Huberdeau, Barkov, McKinnon, Kucharov. Who else was there? I mean, I believe Galchenyuk was there. I think those four are the big ones. I feel like I'm missing another bigger player, but no, I'm with you. 13-14's my year. That's, if I could only buy 1 year of hockey cards and what have you, I would go with 13-14 and get the National Treasures, the Panini, and it had everything. I'm with you. They'll turn into Pokemon and Magic before. Oh, you're talking about like the basketball market. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably truth. As funny as you want to be with that, I think that's likely very true that they go to that stuff before hockey. You made me discover ComC. I feel like that's really bad English. You made me discover ComC, but that's okay. I'm just messing around anyways. And I thank you for the savings. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like, yeah, you save the money. Like, yeah, you got to have a look there. And even places, I'm starting to look now is like My Slabs. If you're looking at graded stuff, My Slabs has a lot of stuff. So have a look on there. You know, Star Stock has stuff. I go through their slabs all the time, and I haven't found any great deals for hockey. I find it priced a little bit high, but it certainly looks like I like the platform. I like the idea of it. The problem with them is it stays on there unless you have it shipped to you, but it moves in lower volumes. Like, you're not going to get rid of it as quick as you can from say eBay if you have a card. But yeah, I'm glad you saved some money there. I eat unicorn with PB, extra peanut butter. Made a fair amount on flipping Cousins Young Gun on ComC in the last week. Wow, I hate to tell you, but it's only going higher. Let's take a look at what we're at here. I was buying them. I got like 5 of them. I got 5 of them at $7.25, and EG is not here, I don't think, in here watching. Maybe he'll watch this later, but I thank BG for it because he tipped me off. He told me a guy who accepts offers all the time. Make sure you're making offers on these cards, guys. Don't just buy it. I mean, unless you know you have Dvorak and he's going to skyrocket in 2 minutes, but make offers on these things. Yeah, you got $19.58 for Cousins, and I think he's got more room to move. I think before the puck drops, I think you'll find this closer to $30. And one thing I've been watching on this too is the inventory. So right now there's 56 of them listed. It started off at about 84 to 86, and it came down to about this mark, 56, and then more got listed. So I wouldn't doubt if, you know, more of these get listed and sort of bring the price down a little bit. I'm not sure that the volume's gotten lower than this, but I do have a bunch of these. This is sort of my one card that I went this was my pick of the off season, so I have a lot of these, and I have some in hand here too. I have some on the way, but Cousins Young Guns was the way that I went, and his silver foil is at $112. There's only one of them. 60, 80, 100. It's not even a bad price. I don't know if I should buy that or wait till next year. I don't know, but I'll be looking to move a good chunk of these Cousins over the course of the next 4 weeks, the 4 to 6 weeks. You know, they probably won't see him. Probably see more price movement starting in about 2 weeks when camps open. But I'm on Cousins, and then I'll start moving them on ComC and as well as on eBay. Would it help if ComC would offer to buy and sell in Canadian dollars? I don't think so, because the hockey market is still relatively small. Like, think of how many cards they got. I don't know how many cards ComC has. I think it's like 26, 30, 40, 50 million cards. Hockey is just not going to be a huge part of that. You know, there's a lot of basketball, baseball, and other stuff on here as well. I mean, I actually prefer dealing in US dollars with these things. Like, I know a lot of the prices in USD, and I have to sort of convert it in my head to Canadian when I think of the prices, because I know what they are on ComC at US dollar, and I just got to do the quick conversion. And yeah, Mike, thanks, man. Yeah, I really liked it. That card actually was one of the first cards that I bought. I'd been eyeing it for a long time. If you've seen my other videos, hit the like button, guys. Make sure you hit that thing. I know this is only the 4th time I've said it. But anyways, one of the other videos, it was right after I sold my Alexander Ovechkin Young Guns PSA 10, and I'd been eyeing up this Barkov card for so long, and I said, you know what? I'm just buying it. I just want the card. I think it's amazing, and I'm just going to buy it. So after I sold my OV Young Guns, that was sort of like my PC piece that I bought for myself. Nick has 4 cousins at SGC. Yeah, so you got that submission over there. That's good. I know you'd sent me the cards that you were going to send over there. I'm talking too much, guys. I'm gonna have to grab a glass of water. If you want to bear with me for a 10-second break, I'm just gonna grab a glass of water and I'll be right back. But it's just me talking. I'm answering all the questions, but I want to, you know what? I feel like this would work better if like I could get someone on like randomly, like have different people who like pop in and have a little bit of a chat with them and have it going both ways. But this is sort of my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I just enjoy talking hockey, so figured why not. Had a long day at work, just wanted to chill out. My son was at hockey tonight and came home and did this. But I'll be right back, guys. But who are you guys buying? You guys, I'm on the Cousins train. I think a lot of people are, which is good for me for when I want to sell them and people want to come up. But who are you guys buying? I like hearing who other people are buying. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't, but I always just look into names. Like I'll go and check their stats, go and see what they did last year, watch some video. And it's one of my favorite things to do is watch some video, because when you watch these guys play, assuming you know how hockey generally works, like you can get a lot from a player. So, I like seeing guys who score in all different ways. I like seeing guys who can score when they shoot. I like seeing guys get to the net a lot if they're putting it in like that. Like Andrei Svechnikov was one that really stood out when you watch his highlights. Dominik Kubalik too, probably more of a shooter in Kubalik, but Svechnikov got to the net so much that when you see that, it means that his scoring is going to be a lot more sustainable. So you want to see guys tipping pucks, being in tight, being out from distance. So, and you're just watching a hockey video, so that's not too tough to do. Oh, did I say Mike Kernel? It's Kemmel. I apologize if I said Kernel before and Kemmel. Will Ovi beat Gretzky? No. I hope he makes a run at it. I mean, we'll all enjoy it. We'll see what he puts up this year. If he scores 30 this year, I think that'll put him way behind the pace and make it really tough. Like he's got to be 40 and up throughout the next, 5 years. I think that would put him on pace. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. That's a steep hill, but I mean, I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it. I do like Ovi. I just knew that I could do more with the money from the Ovi card than I knew I could do more with the money than just having that Ovi card here, and I enjoyed it and I was done with it. But you got to move on, and so I moved on. That was just too much money for me to hold when I'm trying to grow. So holding, a $5,500 card like that makes absolutely zero sense. I'm a Viking, yo. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hit the like button for me, please. I'd appreciate that. People will find me. Do you guys know who says that all the time? I watch this bloody, yeah. Anyways, it's Pomp. If you guys know who Pomp is, hit that like button. More people will find me. I have two Bo Bichette Topps Chrome PSA 10s. I had a Vladdy that I sold off. I thought that if I was going to do something, it would have to be baseball because I can't watch basketball and know what's going on. In baseball, at least I thought maybe I could get into analytics and have a look at that and figure it out. But no, I mean, I just enjoy hockey too. Like it's got to be, it's got to be fun, right? And if you're not having fun, and like me crunching numbers in baseball, it just doesn't seem super fun to me. Having said that, there are a couple of players that I keep hearing about, and I would just be feeding off the hype and off of stuff I've heard, but it doesn't look like other people are acting on it. So there's one guy in particular that I'm looking to buy. If you know baseball, give me a guess of who you think that would be, because I keep hearing his name and people talking about. I've heard some of the advanced analytics from I can't remember what his name is. Big YouTube baseball guy, and not baseball card collector, investor, dealer, one of the other guys, but talking about different slug averages, the percentage of, I don't know, fast hit balls and ball speed off the bat in this, and you know his numbers are really good. But yeah, I'm looking at maybe just buying one of those for fun. Mike is buying Aho, and you're buying Svetch too. Well, you're Russian, you got to be buying Svetch, obviously. A raw Kaliev or two for a good price, yeah. There's a few people who like Kaliev. He'll be an interesting player to watch this year. I honestly don't know a heck of a lot about him. I know he played in the in that Toronto area in the O, but that's about all I know. I haven't watched any. I don't think I've watched any Kaliev videos, but I should probably check some out. Maybe I'll do that later. I bought what I really wanted to earlier in the off season, mainly looking for good deals on key players. Now, yeah, I think one of the things that I've noticed too is when you take a look at players like the Hubertos, Barkov, Stamkos, Kucharov, like people didn't want those guys so much back in December. Like you could have gotten all the vets like really cheap, and you know, I mean, Tampa Bay won a cup, so I mean, I don't think that was even the catalyst, though. I don't even think that mattered. But those, like, buy what you know. Like we know what those players are going to be. Their careers are almost over, you know. And people want to speculate and find, you know, the next guy when there's like chalk sitting right in front of them. Like who the hell wouldn't be buying a Stamkos when he was down at like $30? I bought a couple of them, and I have a couple at ComC, or not ComC, at PSA rather. But it was like, how do you pass on Stamkos at $35? And now I think he's up over 100 Canadian. But sometimes there's just low hanging fruit, and it's like if it looks too good to be true, and the guy's that established, it makes less sense to not buy. Is that a double negative? Does that even make sense? Thoughts on Farabee, number 2. And someone asked about Farabee already. I like him. I like Farabee. What I'd said, long story short, is I have a couple of his cards, and I got them listed a bit high. I don't mind holding on to Farabee because I think he's a good player, but we'll see what happens. In the first few weeks of the season, I would certainly move off of the cards that I have, and if I really liked Farabee that much next year or whatever, I would look at sort of a bigger Farabee card, maybe. Some guy named Svechnikov, yeah. Thanks, R. Pringle. Does that math work? If he played until he was 45 and he scored 10 a year, would he catch Gretzky? That doesn't sound right. How old is he? That would be 80. Yeah, Someone help me there. I'm not going to search the math, but that doesn't sound right. Oh, but wait, how old is he? How old is Sid? 32, 33. So that would be like 12 years. So 120 goals. Is that about the spread? Somewhere in there? Not Acuna, Doncater. The video that I watched actually compared this player to Acuna and Vladdy, I believe. Those were the two comparisons where all these advanced, again, I don't know these numbers, where all these advanced ball speed off the bat, hitting, slugging stuff like lined up, and in some categories he was actually ranked higher than those guys. You know, don't ask me what, but if you really want to know, I can find the guy whose video it was. Smart guy. And really good YouTube content too. Nick Robertson and Krebs, yeah. Lots of people were buying Nick Robertson. I mean, if nothing else, you'll get the hype from Robertson. The thing I would wonder about Nick Robertson is how many people hold and how many people sell, because if everyone's speculating on Nick Robertson, all that Toronto market, and, you know, will there be too many of them? I don't know. That's probably a shitty take anyway. So actually ignore I said that. Win some, you lose some. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of people are buying Nick Robertson, though. I know that much. They've been buying him for a long time. Who am I buying? Now, are you asking me or you're telling me those are the players that you're buying? Jack Hughes, Capo Caco, Kirby Dach, Elias Pettersson. Yeah, I like Pettersson the most. I like Hughes, I think, has more upside than Dach because he's fallen so far. I would go Pettersson, Hughes, Dach, Caco. And I think if Caco can actually show something this year, it's not going to be too late to buy him next year. You don't even have to buy him now. I could see that card really, really falling. And no, it wasn't Guerrero Jr. again. The numbers were compared to Guerrero. So maybe if someone, I should look at these. I don't know if anyone's guessed that, but I should give something away if someone guesses it right. Who am I buying? Beliveau, Richard, Toe, Blake, and Plant. Vintage fun pants. I like your globe there, or your ball. That's a cool icon, or whatever you call those things. Also buying Dach, Norris, and Cousins. There you go. So people are liking Dach. That's not very surprising. Norris, I was buying, and then I sort of gave up on him to buy a lot more Cousins. So I do have some Norris. Let's take a look. He's at $13.59 on COMC. Yeah. I just stopped with Norris. I don't think it's a terrible play. I think it'll work out fine for a COMC flip. I know a lot of people are on, both Stützle and Norris. I do have one Stützle. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I actually got it with Norris at a good price. So I just got those like last week, and they just come in. Huberdeau 49 on COMC. Low numbers available. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I'm not going to go and buy them, but I do want to look like Jonathan Huberdeau. If you take a look at players over the last 3 years, I believe Huberdeau is ranked 13th of all NHL players in the last 3 years. Yeah, he's at 49.74 with 7 left there. And this is about where his cards sat forever, between $40 to $60 Canadian. And it did get up in the playoffs. I think he got up to about maybe the $70 or $80 mark, and Barkov got above 100. But Barkov has moved up closer to 100, and Huberdeau hasn't moved, and Huberdeau has the better numbers if you take a look at it over the last 3 years. So sort of interesting there. I really like Jonathan Huberdeau. I don't know. I have something. I have some Huberdeau PC. I'm just trying to think what I have. Yeah, that sounds right too. I'm a Viking. I remember it being lower too. So maybe it did move more than I'm initially thinking. No, not Soto. Not Soto. Not Soto. You'll get there. I feel like you guys are eliminating guys, but maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I shouldn't say anything and just buy this guy, because those are the players' names that I hear a million times over. I'm just saying, if Ovi gets to 40 and he's still short, he could keep playing past 40 and score like 10 a year just to try and break the record. Yeah, I don't know that he would want to do that, though. He was pretty unexciting in the playoffs, and I was cheering for the guy so hard because I still had that OV PSA 10 that all I wanted to do was sell. All I wanted to do was sell that bloody thing, and I was cheering for Ovi, and he was pretty unexciting in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens this year. But I mean, greatest goal scorer ever, probably. And I mean, you still can't do it forever, but we'll see. Again, I'll be watching. If you're a hockey fan, you'll be watching too. So it's fun, if nothing else. Oh, people making sales in here. Tatis, Wander Franco. No, it is not. God, you guys, those are all the names of people that I hear all the time. And nope, you guys haven't gotten it yet. Not Mookie Betts. I feel like you guys are running out of guesses. Well, it's interesting you asked that, because here's something that's really interesting from that I just noticed earlier today with the and to get to you, Nick, no, it's not Dominguez. But one of the things that I sort of thought of just before I came online here, as I was browsing through some of the Metal Universe stuff that's listed online, and the inserts, like, people are asking ridiculous amounts of money, and I feel like I have a bunch of inserts that I bought for different players, like all numbered stuff, all low numbered stuff. But all of a sudden, it feels like Metal Universe people are like into or listing their numbered inserts higher. So, and same with extended is why I'm getting at this, because it sort of bleeds over. Like I think that not necessarily just the tribute stuff, but I think some of the numbered inserts are really cool and really desirable, and I would rather have a lot of like those or have those than have like I'd rather have a Lafreniere numbered insert or number something rather than his young gun. Like I have no interest in having a PSA 10 or Alexis Lafreniere young gun. That doesn't interest me. But I wonder if people are going to wake up and sort of look back at the players that they had and look at like alternative rookie cards in general too. Like some of the stuff I have, I'll show you here. I'll show you one of my favorite ones. It's just because the card is so cool. So like this card here, like I would rather have this than a young gun. So this is a Violet Medallion. God, this camera. Violet Medallion, Jack Eichel, rookie card, BGS 9. I wasn't worried about the grade. I actually bought this with the plan of selling it as, when Jack Eichel gets traded, and making a flip of it. I can't even keep this thing on camera. Anyways, super cool card, but like I would way rather have this card than his young guns. And now I bought this to flip, but I like the card so much, I might just keep it because it's a super cool card. And I wasn't looking at those things. Until just, it probably started. I started going hard back in about March or April, or maybe it was just after that. But I don't know. I think they're, for me, I like them better for my PC. Now, does the market care? Do other people care? I don't know. Leaf Pearl. I think they make some neat stuff. I really respect Brian Gray's opinion on everything. I really like listening to him on Sports Cards Live. I'll plug them. If you don't watch Sports Cards Live, you should, because Jeremy's the best in the game. But the Leaf Pearl hockey product, if you haven't actually listened to the recent interview with Brian Gray, it was really interesting, and it was all post the Fanatics deal, and Brian Gray talked about the different things that could happen, and I thought it was really interesting. So I won't give too much away, and I don't really want to get into it too much, but I don't know. Anyways, check that out on Sports Cards Live. But the Leaf Pearl hockey product, I think some of it's cool, but I don't know. I think there's some really neat pieces in there. I don't know. It's interesting. McDavid Jambalaya, yeah, I'll take one. I'll take two. As long as they're under $100. Cody Bellinger, nope. The baseball player you're looking for? Well, I'm not looking for any baseball player. I just have my eye on maybe buying one guy, just buying like a refractor. The sepias, I think, are really cool, but I think that I don't think they get much love in baseball, like the Topps Chrome sepias. However, whether you're from Canada or the States, might say it differently. But I would look at a refractor, because it's only about, here's another clue. The refractor is, I believe, about $210 US, right around there. So pretty low for a Topps Chrome refractor. Obviously, rookie card. And a PSA 10. Sorry, that's a PSA 10 Topps Chrome refractor rookie. Out of 99, red medallion for McDavid. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I like those red medallions as well. Yeah, I know you like, I think I showed you this stuff, Nick. I have this Jack Eichel stuff, and I really like that card. It's honestly one of my favorite cards. There's an Austin Matthews on eBay right now, and I'd gotten an offer for it. And I'm looking to pull the trigger on it, but I'm not sure. Like I'm trying not to buy PC cards, and I know if I got that Matthews, I would want to get it graded and keep it. And I don't think it's going to grade particularly well. Might have to send it to BGS rather than PSA. But seeing that Eichel one in the BGS slab, it looks really good too. So I don't know. That thing is sick. Who's Brian Gray? Brian Gray is the Leaf owner, CEO. And it's Brian Gray, right? It's not Mike Gray, because there's Brian Gray with Leaf. He's a CEO. I thought he was the owner as well, but regardless, like, really smart guy in the hobby, has a lot of insight. He's an OG. He's been around for years. Just has a real understanding. He actually said on Sports Cards Live back in an interview, which was probably before Christmas, I think it was at the end of last year. And he said, if you think that things have gotten crazy in 2020, he said, wait until 2021. And I don't know what he knew. I don't know if he had sniffs of this Fanatics thing. I don't know if he was talking about grading, because, grading really went bonkers after that with PSA shutdown and all these things. but he sort of called it and, you know, nailed it. Yeah, so that's who Brian Gray is, but check him out on Sports Cards Live with Jeremy Lee, best in the game. Jeremy Van Ness, hit that like button, guys. People are messaging me about my fantasy football team, which I don't play fantasy football. I actually have a buddy of mine who does it for me because it's with my buddies, you know, a group. So I get him to manage the team for me, and then I just said I'll pay the fee and I'll give him a percentage should we win some money. Luis Robert, there it is. Luis Robert. That's who it is. Yeah, so he was talking about Luis Robert having these numbers that were comparable to like Acuna and Vladdy and these different like hard ball hitters. And, you know, his Robert's price has stayed like really low. And so I'm wondering if I don't just pull the trigger on a refractor 10 and make that. Yeah, I know that about Lou Bob with he tore his ACL, but maybe that's what's keeping his price down. But I know the stats are good with him. That's all I know. I'm certainly not gonna pretend like I know anything about baseball or I can add anything to any baseball conversation, because I don't. I know nothing. Thanks for checking it out too, guys. If you weren't here earlier, I'd plugged my contest too. I have a Young Guns giveaway that I'll be doing in the next week and a half. It's scheduled for the 17th, but I'm going to be working that night because that's a Friday night. So I'll figure that out. But if you hit the subscribe button, that'll get you in that contest. And you can check out my content on occasion. It's some of them are shitty, some are okay. I don't know. I just do it because it's fun. Same reason I'm here. Just chatting with people who like hockey and hockey cards. What on Lou Bob till after playoffs? Yeah, would that be the play? Let me I'm gonna pull up his, because I have him on Market Movers too, and I had a look at him last week and again was looking to pull the trigger on him. But I mean, that sounds right to me. Like the play would be to wait until after playoffs. So his refractor. Yeah, his refractor's down at about $191 PSA 10. Somehow his pink refractor is going up. And his prism refractor, well, that's been pretty flat. But yeah, that's probably, I would imagine, some good information. I appreciate that. Thanks for helping me out. Maybe I can get it for 150. If I could get it for 150, I'll be all over it. And the thing about that card too, I'm not sure how much this plays into my bias, but it's a really good looking card. Like, that's just a sexy looking baseball card. Not the man himself. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure some ladies find him sexy, but anyways, it's just a beautiful card. The Sox with the White Sox with just the black and the gray and the black and the silver and the white, like just, colors that go really, really well. Super waiting for your MNT grading video. Yeah, I'm working on it. I got another video that I was actually gonna do tonight to kill some time for me to buy myself another week to get to that video. I guess I'll probably put it out. What day is it? Wednesday. I'll probably do it tomorrow. It's going to be seven players under $7 to look at, not to buy. I never tell people to buy stuff. Like you gotta figure it out on your own. But I mean, these are players who I think there could be opportunity with, and who aren't too bad for being under $7. And I think 4 of them are probably under like $3 even. So they're relatively inexpensive players, but I know a lot of people like that stuff too, because everyone can't be buying PSA 10, 100 PSA 10 Laffies, hoping that, Laffy hits a home run. Yeah, I think that the real winner, I definitely see it in the other content that I watch that is obviously more basketball and football, some baseball in there, that SGC has, through this whole thing, SGC has been the real winner. Yeah, like people are sending the stuff there. It's selling for a decent dollar. I haven't taken a look to quantify to actually see if like the ratios are closing on PSA 10s. I've heard from content creators that they are, that, and they're really liquid. One of the other things that Flip and Steve talked about, and another good content creator, if you've never checked him out, check him out. He's just a genuine guy. Never met him, don't know him. Might have sent 2 messages to each other on Instagram, but just seems like a great guy. Anyways, in his content, he was talking about having a Zion at a card show he went to. I can't remember if it was the National or if it was Dallas. Anyways, he had a Zion in an HGA case, and he said everyone had Zions and everyone wanted to see them, but no one would look at his HGA Zion. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I would take HGA totally out of the equation if anyone ever thought they wanted to put them in the equation, but I don't know. They're not really moving. They have open slots. But getting back to SGC, yeah, I think they're the big winners in the PSA shutdown and the BGS, with both of BGS being a disaster and PSA being really hard to submit to. PSA is going to be king for the foreseeable future, but SGC may have there may be some utility there or an option to use SGC, and that's what the video is about, is comparing SGC to SGC and MNT, not comparing them to PSA, but just taking a look at, if you can do well or make some money, doing some SGC flips with some young guns. And I mean, a small spoiler alert, you have to be really selective with your cards. I'll tell you, if you don't have a spreadsheet and you don't take a look at what the past sales were for that card, take a look at what the past sales were and look for high ratio cards. So what I mean by that is if you have a $10 card that, SGC 10 sells for $140, that's a ratio of 14. That's sort of like I call it the M, like the multiple. You want to be looking for the high numbers. If you have an SGC, let's say you have a $10 card that sells for $40, like that's not going to cut it. So at a ratio of 4 isn't going to work, but there's discrepancies out there and there's opportunities out there. You just got to find those cards that will bring the money, and the turnaround times are pretty good. So you can likely execute some of these things. But if you just go into your card box and grab 10 young guns and say, well, I'm going to fire these guys in, I don't think you have a chance. Unless maybe, your Kaprizov gets the SGC 10, and apparently SGCs are hard grades. So you really want to be looking at how the SGC 9.5s do too, because you sort of have to expect some 9.5s. And then if you send in 10 cards and 2 of your biggest cards, like both get 9.5s, like how does that affect the return? Because that could very well like swing it from a plus EV play to, a neutral to a losing EV play. You just want to calculate that out. I'm not sure what you mean here, MNT or HGA. HGA is a grading company in the States. They do those colorful, crazy slabs that everyone loved for a little bit, and now they can. Apparently, they've been laying people off, and I don't know. I've personally never been a fan. I think some of their slabs look super cool, where I think other ones they're totally bomb. And their color matching drives me mad. They call it color matching. It's not color matching. Like you don't just take a red with a red. Like what I mean is that it's like a variant of red. If it's not the same red, like it looks like shit. And I think a lot of their slabs look that way. What do I prefer? I prefer PSA. That's what I prefer. I like PSA and BGS. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to make those work. So you got to buy different cards, buy cards that are a bit higher end. I got my submission back, and it was fine. I didn't hit a home run. I just don't know what I want to do with cards now, and debating, if I put it on here. Here's a question. I'll throw it out to you guys, because here's the situation that I'm in, and I'll get your guys' opinion, because not everyone in the world's going to watch this, I don't think. I mean, this could go super viral. It's a pretty fucking good video. Anyways, so I sent in my Pavel Datsyuk and my Patrice Bergeron to be graded, and then I sent the Alexander Barkov and my Nathan McKinnon's young gun to be graded, $200 a card to PSA Express, and my Datsyuk and my Bergeron got PSA 8s. So the Bergeron actually found a really small mark on it, like an indent, and there was a spot in the corner that on certain angles, I can't even find it now when I look for it, but I thought I'd seen like a tiny crease in the corner. I can't even find it now. I know it was in the top right-hand corner of the card. So the Bergeron, I don't care. They found something, whether it was that dent, okay. But the Datsyuk, I just don't understand. There is a tiny print smudge, but here's a dilemma. Here's what I'm asking you guys. A PSA 8 probably won't sell for more than the raw. Like, I'm probably better off selling it raw, because I can take pictures of this. This thing is super clean. It photographs really well. The corners are perfect. The centering, I actually noticed that the centering may be a touch off, but I don't know if I was just looking for something. Anyways, it photographs. It's it's better than, there's 2 Datsyuks online right now for the purple board background. The condition of the one I have is superior. It's not even close to the 2 on there. And so do I try selling it as a PSA 10, or do I crack it out of the slab and sell it? Because one of the other things I was thinking of doing was resubmitting it. I just don't know if I want to spend another $200 on it, because it's that good. Like, I'm lost on it. And don't take this as me saying, oh, PSA grading is garbage, and these things. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Maybe it was an error. Maybe, like, I don't know. They're the professional graders, so I should be trusting them, and I do. I just don't know what went wrong with this one. And I'm pretty good at finding flaws with cards. Like, that's all I try and do when I'm looking for a card to send it in. Yeah, there could be some opportunity there. The thing with the SGC 10s, though, is that if they're going for a good buck, like, your margins are going to be really small. So that's even more math that you got to do. Like I still like just buying raw. I'll just buy, you can't do that for really high end cards. But what I did for my lower end submissions is I just bought like 20 Adam Foxes, and I picked out like, the PSA 10s that I thought there were, and I sent those, and I just resold the rest back on eBay. That's what I did. Like, I'm not sure about buying SGC 10. That would be tough. I'm sure you can do it, but yeah, I don't know. Crack it and go raw. Yeah. What do you think? The question I have more is because I've never done this. I've never cracked a slab to sell it raw. I've seen opportunities to do it, and I've just been decided against them for whatever reason. But like the ethics behind doing that, like should I be disclosing to people? Obviously, I'm not going to put this was a PSA 8 that I cracked, but I don't know. I'm just not sure. Yeah, I can resubmit it to BGS, but that's going to be $250 to BGS. So now I'm going to be out $600 on that card. And then even if it gets a 9.5, I guess I'd get my money back. I'd make a little bit of money if I got a BGS 9.5, but I don't know. At this point, I'm sort of over it, but it's the decision that I have to make with both the Bergeron and the Datsuk is whether I crack them and sell them on eBay or try selling them as PSA 8s. What I don't want to do is sort of sell them as PSA 8s on eBay and then crack them after. I don't know. It's sort of a shitty situation. The thing is, though, like with my Barkov exclusives, like that will pay for my grading and that will pay for all the cards pretty close to. I think I'll almost break even on all my expenses on just the Barkov exclusives, and then I still have the Nathan McKinnon Young Guns PSA 10, which is obviously super liquid. I'll be selling. I have two of them. I'll be selling one of them likely in both. I hope to sell them in about a month. It's starting. It's at a couple of sales that have been really slightly up. Starting to see a little bit of momentum. So I don't know. I'm just going to hold off for a couple weeks and see what happens with that card. But Kent, what did I miss? Thoughts on the whole Star Stock ABC rating? I don't know. I mean, everything that I've heard, it seems to be pretty well. Like I believe that their Star Stock A's grade out at something like 80+% or is it like 93% PSA 9 plus, I believe is the way that they do it. I don't know. Like, it's not something I've had to think about too much just because I've never considered buying like a Star Stock A hockey card, like to pay a premium for that. I feel like if I get like hockey cards grade relatively well. So I feel like if I got decent pictures, if you can just send me pictures of the corners and the edges and as long as you don't take pictures like some people do where like, I don't know what the hell they do. If you can get decent pictures, like I'd rather just make that Star Stock A or B or C rating, in my head. I'd rather decide what it is. Like those guys aren't professional graders. I don't think they're having anyone, super. I don't know who looks at it. I shouldn't assume that. I should actually assume that they have someone reasonably qualified who looks at that. But for hockey cards, again, they grade relatively easy. I don't know, whatever the proper English is. I feel like I would just rather like vet the cards myself as long as I can get good pictures. It's worked reasonably well up till now. I'm not burnt yet. This Datsuk is just driving me nuts. Like I said, I'm fine with the Bergeron. I don't really care. The Datsuk I'm a little bit choked about because there's something like there is a tiny ink spot on the top, this weird, like, I guess maybe that's just what makes it. Like I posted pictures in the Discord. It's really faint. It's tough to see, but maybe that's all it is. I don't know. Be a Beijing set of hockey cards for the Olympics, you mean? I don't know. We'll see if they even get there. Like, I don't know. COVID going to be gone by the time the Olympics come around? Like I think if you looked at a Vegas line on whether the NHL actually makes it to the Olympics, if you want to bet on it, I bet the Vegas line is like right around 50-50. I don't know if it exists somewhere, whether it's on, wherever it's out there, but I don't feel like it would be above 50-50. I'm not clear on this. Sending straight from pack to penny sleeve to star stock and not getting a high percentage A. Yeah, because the product's shitty. I mean, that's been known. Like that's what that's. I mean, not only is it going on with Upper Deck in hockey, but you have the same. I've heard the same problems with like a lot of the Prism stuff, and a lot of the centering on like your Select stuff and that. So it's the quality, like pack. I always laugh at pack to penny sleeve. Like, it doesn't matter. Like take a look at these PMGs that are coming out today. Those are packed to penny sleeve too, and they look like they've been in a tire spoke. Like, remember you put that shit in your spokes and like did that when you were a kid? Like, that's what these cards look like packed to top loader or packed to penny sleeve, whatever. I always laugh at that. The quality just hasn't been good across the board. It's well known. So when people talk about, these lower ratings too, where PSA 10s are going down, that's a big part of it too, because everyone's reaching so deep to just send in, the chunk of the bulk of the cards that they have there that they're sifting through right now are all these $5 and low dollar basketball cards that everyone's just pulling out of the pack and sending in. And the bottom line is, they don't come out of the pack PSA 10. It just doesn't happen. And, maybe one day they did. I mean, Elias Pettersson, if you want a card that's an easy grade, Elias Pettersson's cards always seem to be incredibly clean. And not that whole year. It's just like Pettersson's were cut properly and whatever. I'd say on eBay they look like standard. I would say is a PSA 9. I mean, they look pretty good. When I first started doing this though, which I'm coming up to, almost exactly a year since I bought my first card, or my first hockey card back after, all the stuff in the 90s when I was a kid collecting. I didn't even look at condition of the cards. I just bought everything. Like, I was buying Mikko Rantanen, so I had like 40 of them because I was like, Mikko Rantanen's $20. This is absolutely ridiculous. So I went and bought everyone I could find. I had a limit on my auctions, so I made sure that I was staying below $24 Canadian max. But I wasn't even looking at condition, and I think generally the cards are pretty good. Again, hockey cards, they're a relatively easy grade compared to other cards, but even still, there's going to be big problems with this 2021 Series 1, Series 2. Like, someone posted something the other day. I can't remember. Kaprizov is it him? Anyways, one of the cards is grading really high at a PSA 10, and the other is not. I can't really remember. Sammy G. No, I don't think so. I love him though. Oh, that stick behind me. Where am I here? Where am I? I can't figure this out. Yeah, so that stick right there. Where is my finger? That hockey stick right there. That is Sam Girard's stick that he gave to me at the Winnipeg Arena here. So I always go down. We have seats with my brother-in-law's with his company, the company that he works for. So we're third row, and it's right by where the visitors come out of the corner in the Bell MTS or whatever they call the bloody arena now. Anyways, at the Jets Arena. And so we always go down. I go to every Avs game. I got my Avs jersey on, and I go down for every warm up, and we have a beer, and me and my brother-in-law shoot the shit and watch a warm up. And Sammy G came. He was going off the ice, and he handed me that stick, and it's all wrapped up, and it's not used. He didn't even use it, but the amount of work that he puts into the amount of work that he puts into it. Here, I'll grab it. Like he wraps all of his sticks like that, so it's got the cord all the way down, or the wrap. Like, I don't know, but no puck. He hasn't used the puck on it. The only thing I've done is stick handle the ball with it. But this is like the world's smallest stick. Where's there's the Sammy G. There's the Gerard. But he gave this to me, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But I love Sammy. I don't really see any upside with his cards, but where his upside will be is helping the Avs to a Stanley Cup. I think that's where Gerard's upside will be. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I actually have a bar over here, a bar top, and I got to get some mounts, and then I'm going to get this and I'm going to hang it above the bar because it's so short. It fits perfectly. My bulkhead on the bar isn't that big, but yeah, anyways, so that's my Sammy Gerard. Pretty cool though. I'm excited about it. I stole it from a little kid. That little bugger wasn't getting it. I'm just joking, by the way. I didn't steal it from a little kid. Well, all right, guys. We're going to wrap it up soon. I've been on here for 2 hours just spouting off about stuff, about whatever. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any final questions or comments or whatever. We can hit those. And if not, like I said, make sure that you like and subscribe, get in the contest, sub up, and hit the like button so a million other people watch this video and it'll go viral and I'll be like Sasha T for hockey. I'm just joking, by the way, guys. I don't care. If I just do this for fun, so I just like talking hockey. That's about it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I will keep doing it. I see. Oh, the good content. The good is the part that I can't guarantee, but I'll keep up the content. How about that? I'll try and make good content. I try and make it good. I try and make videos where I can learn something from it too. So like this MNT and SGC grading, can we make it work or not? I'm learning a lot, and I'm actually a little bit surprised with some of the data that I'm finding. And I've spoiled it a little bit, but hopefully I can present it in a decent way, and you guys can get something out of it. But you just want to keep learning. It all helps as long as you put the hours in, guys. You just gotta work. And I know not everyone has time, and not everyone cares. Some people just collect and whatever. I enjoy growing and learning more and creating arbitrage opportunity, and just then I can buy other PC cards that I want and do it with other people's money, not mine, because my hockey cards are my hockey cards. Do you think the Cup RCs from this year have any value? Well, for sure they will. I mean, whose though? A box for 1K and Makar is 6 to 7. Yeah, like well, this year's Cup is who? Do you mean last year's, or do you mean 2021 series? Like, you mean Lafreniere and Kaprizov and like all these guys? I'm not sure which year you mean. Like Makar, Hughes, who else was in that? Pedersen. No, that wasn't Pedersen. Like that was the 18-19, I believe. That was a pretty juicy year, I remember. You need to make an odd move live to go viral. You need to make an odd move live. What the hell? What does that mean? I'll make an odd move to go viral. I just don't know what that means. Am I too old? Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Means a lot to me. Hey, spasibo. Spasibo. Am I saying that right? Spasibo. 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 Spasibo to you too. Nice. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to kill it there. Thanks for coming. Again, I appreciate it. Hit that like button before you leave if you haven't already. But I'll do this again. I enjoy doing it. Maybe I won't do it weekly or anything, but maybe I'll do it once every couple of weeks and hit it up. I do have an interview lined up with an individual, and I hope to get that going. We were going to try and do it this week, but I know that he was busy, and he has a really incredible collection. And he collects a lot of the stuff that I really like. So I just figured, hey, why don't you get on here and we'll shoot the shit and show some of his cards. And he's got some really cool stuff. It's the stuff I like anyways. And hopefully, if nothing else, like people who watch just get some value and learn about the cards in the different sets, because he's super knowledgeable about all these cards. And the sets themselves. See, he's a real collector. Like I just have some shit that I like and collect these things. He's like a set collector and collecting full sets of stuff. So we're gonna get him on here and see, but I won't tease that right now. All right, man. Okay, guys. Thanks again. I appreciate you guys coming. Peace.